The city of Norwich is bracing itself for a Russian invasion.
I know that what I'm building appeals to me so much that it will appeal to people who are like me, so I know they will come.
This is the story of one Russian woman's dream to create the ultimate English hotel.
It's my unborn child, and I think I've been carrying it for the last 4.5 years.
She has never done anything like this before, but she knows what she likes.
Don't tell me what I can put or what I cannot put. I can put whatever I want. It's my vision, it's my restaurant, it's my hotel.
But has she taken on more than she bargained for?
I have to present to the world that we can do it. Failure is not an option.
With their Norwich hotel finally open, Lana and Carleton's first Christmas in business was anything but merry.
I would have chucked this in some while ago. So I'm only doing this because, you know, Lana would be really upset if I chucked it in.
Understaffed and overstretched, the last thing they needed was General Manager Brian jumping ship.
I fought the good fight here, and it's, you know, I'm not hotel manager material.
But with the finances nosediving, their only chance of salvation lay in Moscow, with their biggest investor, Lana's cousin Dmitri.
And it's fair
That
point.
is why I give you 3 months and give additional money for that.
Dmitri's 3-month ultimatum is an offer they cannot refuse.
If he wanted to sack the directors because they haven't performed as he feels they should perform, then he has the right to do so.
6 years ago, first-time property developers Lana and Carleton van Selman gave up comfortable jobs and secure incomes to embark on a journey of discovery. Their dream was to create a luxury hotel heaven in the centre of Norwich. Much money was spent.
It's damn perfect.
And many tears were shed. The crowds came and went, as did the staff.
Fuck this, I'm going home now, I've had enough. I'm leaving. Goodbye.
But through it all, Lana's guiding vision and drive have remained as strong as ever. But can she navigate the tricky path ahead? It's now 3 weeks since Lana and Carleton made their mercy dash to Moscow. Cousin Dmitri agreed to fund them through the winter, but turning things around in spring will stretch Lana's skills to the limit.
No, I'm not frightened. I don't scare easily. I'm concerned, and I have every reason to be, but it's not insurmountable. I just know that there are steps that I need to take, and it's little by little. It's just, you know, one have to live in hope that we have enough time.
There's nothing to do but to carry on, so we carry on.
As a timely morale boost for the exhausted team, Lana and Carleton have closed the hotel for a belated party.
Tonight is our staff Christmas party. It's only 2 days before Valentine's Day, so it's probably a good time to have it.
Carleton has invited along his band, the Cleaving Heavages, to get the evening off to a flying start. It's a much-needed lift to a team who've put their heart and soul into this labour of love. But if the hotel is going to survive to Dmitri's May deadline, then savings will have to be made, and already low staff numbers will have to be cut. Away from the party, Lana and Carleton ponder their predicament.
We are both
painfully aware of money that's been spent on things we didn't need to have spent money on.
We will go on. God, that sounds like Titanic, doesn't it? My heart will go on.
As the morning after the party breaks, it's back to the grindstone for General Manager Brian. With 2 months' notice left to serve, his workload is far from easing.
This is not going to bed down for a while. This is going to be all year. It's going to be like this, and probably into 2007. That's not a bad thing. It's the nature of the business, but not for me, mate. No way. I'm that badly short-staffed that I have to actually, wait on the tables, and that's the way it goes.
With an exhausted Brian treading water and the half-full hotel sinking fast, something's got to give. With the bistro now running to a skeleton audience, Grimsby is a frustrated head chef.
The long hours, the hard work, the arguments, the inconsistencies, I can cope with that.
But what he cannot cope with is running a gourmet kitchen for an undersold restaurant. Lana's drastic solution: cut the cooks to match the diners.
The experienced people that I thought I'd be working with aren't. The tools that I need to be able to do the job have not necessarily been there for me, so it's been bloody hard.
Grimsby is determined to hold his ground. But 2 egos into one hotel clearly cannot go. Coming up on Hell to Hotel. As St Giles House teeters through its lean, cold season, Lana makes her bed and says her prayers.
Divine intervention, my guardian angel. Something will happen and we will pull through.
But with the bills piling up, the tension only grows.
It comes up to the payday time again, and it's kind of that crunch time again. Will we, won't we, can we, can't we?
As the financial belt tightens, tempers finally boil over.
Which apparently John said to Marianne, if she thinks we're doing that, she can go fuck herself. Well, we'll see about that, won't we?
With her Russian investors' ultimatum ringing in her ears, Lana returns from Moscow with some serious work to do.
If he wanted to sack the directors because they haven't performed as he feels they should perform, then he has the right to do so.
As the weary staff struggle through their long winter of discontent, it was time for a drink, a treat, and a boogie. But with Lana's managerial knife hacking through the budget, will they soon find themselves out on the street? It's been an exhausting 5-year struggle for Lana and Carleton to open their £6 million Norwich hotel, but the real fight has only just begun. With only 2 more months to balance the books, Lana is holed up at her Norfolk home, struggling with the cash flow.
I really have to stay on top of finances pretty much full time.
Running a 24-hour business during the leanest time of year means only one thing: costs must be cut.
We've asked John for the kitchen staff to take their own chef's wives and wash them for the next couple of weeks at home, which apparently John said to Marianne, if she thinks we're doing that, she can go fuck herself. Well, we'll see about that, won't we?
Head chef John, or Grimsby to his friends, is fighting with his boss over drastic cuts in his kitchen.
My relationship with Lana will pretty much always be the same, because we're both quite pig-headed. We both believe we're right all the time, but at the end of the day, I'm more right.
But as Grimsby is about to find out, it's Lana who wields the sharpest knife around St Giles House. Grimsby was quickly out in the cold.
On Monday, I was called into a meeting with Carleton and Lana. I was asked to end our working relationship with the hotel, which I agreed to. I think on their side it's a money-saving object. I'm sick and tired of working with non-professionals. It's been, over the past year, an absolute shit fight.
But Grimsby's not the only escapee. For bar manager Ellen, the harsh rationing of her stock has proved a cut too far.
I've decided to leave St Giles House and go into a different career. Yeah, a little career change, I think. I think there's too many chiefs, not enough Indians.
With staff leaving in their droves, the English winter is proving to be a very mean season for St Giles House. As the days tick away of his notice period, General Manager Brian is buckling under the increasing workload.
And I'm absolutely munted right now. Not munted, is munted? Munted means pissed, doesn't it? No, I'm actually, I'm tired.
Will I ever get this list done?
I worry from the relationship with my wife and that I'm not seeing enough of my kids, but I just can't keep working 120 hours a week. Still, human beings, you all have a breaking point, and I worry about mine sometimes.
Struggling with the distinct lack of human resources, Lana's ever-resilient PA, Marianne, is making the best of her job.
We had no personnel department, so I've been doing payroll now for the last 4 or 5 months. The leavers and the starters is a full-time job really in itself. We have continual staff coming and going.
But for Systems Administrator Ryan, it's an opportunity to shine. He wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
This is, at the moment, apart from working in porn, probably my dream job right now. So I'm really enjoying it, and I'm looking forward to the future and to see what happens. It's getting busier, which has to be a good sign.
But maintaining the appearance of a fully staffed and operational hotel is a tricky illusion to sell.
The hotel is perfect, and the rooms are very comfortable and gorgeous.
Our rooms are superb, absolutely superb.
Yeah.
First class, really first class, yeah.
For the moment at least, the mammoth effort is paying off. But in the face of more cuts, how long can they continue the trick?
To anyone outside, I can take them into the building and say, look, this is a thriving business. Look at it. People are enjoying themselves. The trends are here. It'd be pretty stupid to let it go now.
Spring has finally arrived in Norwich. But has St Giles House survived the winter? The doors are still open, the long-awaited terrace is finally ready for business, and the new soft area of the bistro is proving very popular. On a wing and a prayer, Lana has somehow guided her hotel to Cousin Dimitri's May deadline. Now, it's decision time. Back in January, St Giles House got a 3-month lifeline from Lana's Russian cousin, Little Dimitri. In return for monthly instalments of cash, he became the majority shareholder of the hotel. But with the 3 months now up, Lana's money management is about to come under some intense scrutiny as Dima decides whether to continue his vital funding.
I don't know the details of exactly what he has agreed to and hasn't agreed to, but he certainly does make them jump through loops. He wants everything, and then he wants it again, and then he wants it in Russian, and then he wants this, so he keeps him fairly busy.
Also hanging on the decision, the newly finished Georgian wing is waiting to come on stream. It's been a 2-year struggle to bring the derelict building up to scratch. But with continuing uncertainty over Dimitri's funding, there's no spare cash for fixing and furnishing.
It's a very nervous week this week. People start asking about payday, and it's sort of... And I don't know either. This is not that I can't tell them, so I don't know exactly when payday will be or how it will be, whether it will be cash, whether it will be cheque, whether it will be at all. You know, some months are a little bit, you know, to the wire.
I mean, every day we open up bills. I get a pile of mail like this, and it's all bills. There's a bill from this person, that person, and sometimes, some of these people are getting a little bit irate that they're not paid as quickly as they would like to be paid.
As St Giles House holds its breath, Lana maintains a positive front.
It's been very, very turbulent, and we're now still going through the development, but we're also, to some extent, we're in the process of consolidation. There are only 3 people left in the kitchen out of
the original team of 15
is Alex, Daniel and Lee, and they're sort of all-timers in the kitchen.
Of those old-timers, it is Daniel who has picked up Grimsby's mantle to whip the kitchen into shape.
About 3 months ago I was made acting head chef. The team seemed to be getting on well. We had a lot of chefs at the beginning, and we've trimmed that right down now, and it's perhaps a more focused group.
Front of house, we haven't got anyone.
No, Ellen left.
And
then
came
she came back again.
Ellen thought she had escaped, but is now comfortably back behind her bars.
I just flipped and needed time out, so I left for a little while. It was only about 6 weeks. I think I'm bar supervisor now. I've been demoted, but got pay rise, that's all right.
With her partner Daniel now being made head chef, Ellen just couldn't keep away.
Lana made him acting head chef because I think she likes his attitude. Dan will say, right, tell me what you want and I'll do it. Whereas other chefs can be quite, I ain't doing that, I'm doing my own menu.
You actually see things getting done. She has an idea and it happens. Hence the lounge area was literally decided upon in a meeting, and we thought it was going to be months away. And then one day I came out and they'd taken half the bistro away.
He may be the acting head chef, but with Lana cutting his restaurant in half on a whim, it's clear who's pulling the strings.
Perhaps Lana makes the final decisions on some things.
One person who won't be missing Lana's quirks is ex-General Manager Brian. He's now happy to be spending some quality time with his family.
I came to the time where I was getting sick and tired of sitting at the end of the sofa here, pretty depressed, and just Karen and I had a chat one evening, and we just decided, look, she asked me, do I want to quit? I said, yeah, I wish I could. And she said, just do it. We'll work it out somehow.
It was a nightmare. It was really difficult because I just didn't see him at all. And I think it was difficult for the children to not see him. And when he was here, he was just sleeping. He was just so tired. She's wearing a very Lana-esque top.
That 3-month notice period, I was expecting to be a very lonely, long walk back to the locker room, so to speak. But it actually wasn't that bad.
As life goes on without Brian, Lana's legendary operations meetings continue. Top of today's agenda, Ryan's black eye.
I would like to say that I was playing football and I went up for a header, but I didn't. I would also like to say that there were 6 of them, they were much bigger than me, but that didn't happen either.
Ryan's good deed was to try and break up a street fight between a gaggle of drunken women.
I ended up with having one tiny little northern girl, and she was tiny, with like a stiletto or boot in her hand, and just smacked me one, and it just my face just sort of came up.
This looks absolutely horrendous.
I don't need any sympathy or anything.
But Ryan's shaggy dog story seems to be the light relief of today's rather tense meeting. But when it comes to St Giles House, tension has always been on the agenda.
Ops meetings can be quite brutal. Well, Lana took them to another level.
What seems
Please don't think there isn't a problem. There is a problem. Start being the general manager.
Absolutely. I would have these visions of like jamming a stapler, you know, in her eye, you know, or what different garroting technique can I use on her today, you know? And you know what? I bet you she was thinking the same thing, like, if I could just kind of slice him up like that geezer in Silence of the Lambs, you know, what have you, you know.
Marianne is glad those days are history.
One ops meeting, Lana threw her phone across the room and smashed it into tiny pieces and stormed out. And it was all at the beginning of January. It was those 2 or 3 meetings that led to Brian's resignation and John's departure.
Is it a matter of just buying another phone?
We could just go and buy one.
Yeah, let's buy a phone.
Well, let me speak to BT first, but you did want another roaming phone anyway.
But with the Russian resolution imminent, the nervous issue of expenditure is even extended to the cost of a new phone. As Lana leaves to make that all-important call to Moscow, Dimitri's final decision remains a ticking bomb that could yet blow the business apart. In the basement, the newly completed luxury spa has only just opened. Head beauty therapist Faye has waited 9 months to get this far.
I've waited so long for this spa. I don't want it to be taken away from us, so at all costs we will get customers, and we've got a chance now to build on something, and we've got the makings there. You've just got to drive it forward.
Escaping the suspense upstairs, Marianne pops in for a much-needed manicure.
I don't take care of my nails properly, so I'm far too busy.
But with a knock on the door, the tension returns as Lana interrupts with news from Moscow.
I'll give a 3 month.
Dimitri's 3-month ultimatum has passed. His stringent financial test has put Lana through the management mill. Now, finally, the man from Moscow reveals his decision. Coming up, as the future of St Giles House hangs by a thread, it's time to recall the struggles.
And the only person who has chipped, unpainted nails, who will not have time to get ready, probably will be me.
To remember the triumphs.
We're officially open!
And to admit the mistakes.
Egypt, maybe? Might be rather a large one.
I just want to put a match to it and burn the whole fucking thing down.
As Lana's dream Norwich hotel finally emerged from its winter nightmare, it was time for the team to let their hair down. But with her Russian investor demanding a tighter grip on the finances, Lana was soon dancing to cousin Dimitri's tune. But the radical cost-cutting was too much for some to bear.
You know, I'm sick and tired of working with non-professionals. It's been, over the past year, an absolute shit fight.
First-time hotelier Lana van Selman is learning the hard way how to manage a 24-hour hotel business. With her Russian-based cousin, little Dimitri, becoming the majority shareholder, Lana had to balance the books to prove her worth. But with his 3-month ultimatum now expired, Dimitri's verdict is imminent. For personnel manager Marianne, trying to relax in the hotel's luxury spa, the decision could mean the difference between paychecks or P45s. As Lana interrupts with the news, Marianne waits with bated breath. The man from Moscow, he says yes.
The weight is just lifted up here.
I know. I'll come and hug you and kiss you. I'm in a light mood now. Today's Tuesday, so we'll have it by Friday.
So we can pay on Wednesday.
Yes. Yes.
We sort of go from one crisis at the end of the month to 3 weeks, okay, and it comes up to the payday time again, and it's kind of that crunch time again. Will we, won't we, can we, can't we?
With Dimitri's next instalment of cash on its way, the wages can finally go out. It's all part of the St Giles House merry-go-round. Satisfying her Russian cousin that St Giles House is safe under her management is the key to a successful future for the hotel.
Dima is so fascinated with me. I am his little Eliza Dolittle. For as long as I can keep his fascination, he will do what is required. Not to say that he's completely without will, but that's the deal that we have.
With Lana now master of all she surveys, and Dmitri 100% behind her, this fair lady could prove unstoppable. But it wasn't always the case. When Lana and Carleton first stepped inside the former telephone exchange, it had been derelict for 9 years. Experienced property developers had given the place a wide berth, but our intrepid two were convinced this was the ideal location for a hotel unlike anything Norwich had ever seen before. And so they set about travelling the world in search of a unique style with which to adorn St Giles House.
God, I really want it. Makes you horny all the time. Well, it makes me horny anyway.
But the hotel quickly developed a life of its own. It would take bravery, nerve, and a lot of investors' money to see them through.
I have to believe that we have to finish it.
In this situation, you will finish in 2 years.
I know.
2 years, I swear.
So what do? Do we stick a hose in the car and hold our hands and say, thanks for having a lovely life?
As the pressure of construction grew, newly arrived General Manager Brian started to wonder what he had got himself into.
I'm shitting myself at the moment. The magnitude, the weight of what the fuck we're doing, is just mind-blowing.
But as the team came together under one garage roof and head chef Grimsby came on board, the sense of anticipation was growing.
Little worries here, little worries there. Once you get them all together, it's one really big, massive one.
For Egyptian designer Essam, the chance to work on an English hotel was too good to turn down.
I am classic.
But his Cairo-built furniture was to be the cause of much grief around St Giles House.
Every bloody house is split.
If only SM had made them a little bit nicer. If only he'd used a bit more of an expensive wood on them, they would have been a bit more up to scratch.
I just want to put a match to it and burn the whole fucking thing down.
We'll have a big bonfire in the car park, I think, for all that furniture. I don't think that's going to survive much longer.
Elsewhere, Grimsby had his own puzzle to solve. His kitchen was full of builders, but empty of essentials.
Well, the water from the kitchen came out in the toilet. So now we'll take toilet into kitchen?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay.
Grimsby, he's virtually hired a football team of every baker, chef, dishwasher, you name it. He's got a football team.
Hello, my name's Daniel. I'm one of the sous chefs. Hi, I'm Lee Taylor.
Hey, right, my name's Alex and I'm from Norwich. I'm going to be the sous chef.
My name's Tom. I'm the food and beverage manager here. My name's Ivan. I'm senior sous chef. I've been here already too long.
But as the hotel's first 11 came together, a new enemy would rear its ugly head.
The dust. You'd just spend half an hour hoovering and cleaning to get rid of the dust, and then half an hour later, a builder would come traipsing in and bring in a lot more, and you'd be like, oh, I've just cleaned that.
Dusting, mopping, hoovering, dusting, mopping, hoovering.
I never ever want to see a spot of dust like we had in the hotel ever again.
I am still cleaning though. I was cleaning the terrace not the other day. And nothing's changed really. It's much the same.
Far from shirking the dirty work, Lana led from the front.
I remember cleaning bedrooms. Yeah, we used to hide in there, try and stay away from that crazy woman with that sponge, man. She was off a rocker. Couldn't say to her, why are you cleaning that with the door open and a guy with a circular saw outside the door, you know, do you not think that all that dust is going to go on there? Because she wouldn't listen, just wouldn't listen to no one.
Carleton?
Does it need to be done now?
Yes, it needs to be done now. Can we just do this one thing the way that I want to do it?
As the building work continued apace, the next Egyptian puzzle arrived in the shape of hundreds of gold and crystal chandeliers.
We have to put them together. I've got to attach every individual crystal, which looks like there's over 4,000 or 5,000 crystals, by hand.
And we don't have a map of what goes where.
Kitchen and bar staff soon became light fitters, but could they meet Lana's testing criteria?
They're filthy. They're absolutely filthy. You haven't cleaned them to my standard. Check them against the light, and then one can put them up.
Okay. It's true, within the first week I did leave, yeah, or sort of quit slightly, but they asked me to stay on. I'm glad they did now, because I don't know what I'd be doing now, but it certainly wouldn't be as interesting as this.
It's a losing battle, fighting to keep these things clean. But it needs to be done once a week. We can't keep up with it.
But as the supplies flooded in, expenditure went through the roof.
Oh, wait, not on that one, on this one.
And the finance plan went out of the window.
Oh.
Our budget was based on opening last Christmas.
Okay.
You know, we're stretched it another fucking 9 months. We can't magic any more money. There isn't any.
A premature opening of the bistro was the only way out.
Pricing, we've not got a clue. I mean,
But when you actually opening?
Tomorrow.
With building control issues looming and a vital liquor licence still missing, Carleton would quickly come into his own.
Anything that tends to be very bureaucratic. Lana just throws her hands up in the air and says, "Oh, I can't do that," but because it doesn't respond the way that Lana wants it to do. And I say, well, it's not logical. What they have is a number of boxes they've got to tick.
It will be ready, we'll work through the night.
If that means you've got to stand on your head and sing hallelujah, that's what you do to get the tick in the box and then move on to the next box.
Oh my God! You've given it to us! Thank you so much.
We have a licence.
With all the boxes ticked and the bar legal, the team made their final push.
Hi, welcome to St Giles House.
With a few last-minute sparks, St Giles House was ready for business. But as the first guests arrived, the tension spiralled.
Not hurry up! Get them fucking orders in! Okay, 2 scallops, a duck liver.
But Grimsby's kitchen would soon reach boiling point as the unprepared waiters struggled to keep up.
Okay, so there! Fucking move your arse. No, you put it in the wrong fucking bowl. Look, just fucking think what you're doing. There! Come on!
If you're standing at a pass shouting and shouting and shouting for a waiter that never comes, you know, and the food's deteriorating under the hot lights, then it causes friction.
I know that you've just been told. Make sure you tell your fucking waiters.
But you can't lay into staff, the waiting staff, and then expect them to take his food out to the table, you know, confident and smiling when you've just been called everything under the sun. Well, that's just a style, but is that a nice style?
There's only 2 people on table 5.
Well, that's gone out wrong then.
Under the watchful eye of the Ice Queen herself, the bistro opening night fell apart. It had taken £6 million just to open the restaurant. But the hotel was not complete without one more vital element.
The rooms. Where are the rooms? That is the question.
A massive makeover was the next colossal challenge.
Hey, we're moving in!
As St Giles House geared up for a full hotel opening.
It does a little bit like the scene of a porno film.
Of course, Thomas is Caption Pretty UK. He holds the title of Caption Pretty UK.
But Lana's attention to detail would leave no stone unturned.
I say, he's very picturesque, isn't he?
God, look at your lashes. They're very pretty.
Thank you. I've just been handed a bag of nuts and a spanner
told to put wardrobes together.
Are you going to put this together in half an hour?
Well, had you actually mentioned it to me?
Carleton, how the fuck am I supposed to put a wardrobe together? Well, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
As the pace got crazy and time quickly ran out, Lana went into overdrive.
It's just getting people to do stuff.
Come on, push, push.
This is what's happening all the time at the moment, is that no one can make a decision without Lana's say-so.
But you asked me to tell her to clean the toilets.
Do you want? I'll get
Well,
her
yeah,
here.
she needs to remember that complaint that was made last night about the...
This isn't going to go well tonight. I can feel it in my bones. Alana's boiling. She's gonna blow. I couldn't give a shit, to be honest with you.
But Lana's angst was reserved for her big night.
They will all be beautiful, and the only person who has chipped, unpainted nails who will not have time to get ready probably will be me.
But against all the odds, St Giles House was up and running.
Hey! We're officially open.
We've managed to get probably every single important person in this town to come tonight.
Lana's dream hotel finally faced its first critical audience.
Well, I mean, you know, the beauty of this room is the window. Fancy going out and buying something like that from B&Q and sticking it over the door.
It's like being a performer, like a theatre performer, when you sweat through the performance and then you have a curtain call, and then perhaps you have a standing ovation. That's how it is. It's exactly that. It's theatre.
And the first night audience loved the performance.
It's a lovely place to eat and to drink, and I'll certainly become a member of this place.
It's a perfect reflection of Carleton and Lana's characters, the opulence, the style, the glamour.
Oh, yes, if somebody offered me the chance to stay here, I'd stay at the drop of a hat, yes, definitely.
And I'm sure that they will fine-tune it and make a great success of it.
But the praise of the Norwich public is nothing without the approval of their Russian investor, Lana's cousin Dmitri.
To your room. We'll take a bath.
Thank you for this.
Fortunately, he was overwhelmed with the transformation from building site hell to 5-star hotel. Coming up, with our proud hoteliers now steering their ship into calmer waters, the team, past and present, give their views on the finished article.
I go on aeroplanes on holiday, it doesn't mean I'm going to go out and buy one and fly one. And that's exactly what happened.
It's time to reflect on the education of St Giles House.
Darling, I don't make spectacularly bad decisions. Every single decision I make is right.
Lana and Carleton's Norwich Hotel woke from its winter hibernation with a bang. But the money troubles would soon surface to break up the party.
Every day we open up bills. I get a pile of mail like this and it's all bills.
Only an extreme economy drive would satisfy their Russian investor.
For as long as I can keep his fascination, he will do what is required.
The St Giles House Hotel has finally emerged from its 5-year struggle to launch. With Carleton's planning and Lana's management, the building looks every inch the luxury glamour pad. In their gourmet bistro, there's even art on the menu.
This is actually a portrait of a very, very well-known prostitute who operated in France. But when we saw it, we just thought, that's the sort of thing that's got to go in here. We're definitely sort of heading towards a slightly sort of decadent feel in terms of the art that's going up in here.
But from the comfort of his personal soapbox, ex-head chef Grimsby is more discerning.
Lana has no taste. I'm sure certain people might find it appealing.
And ex-senior sous chef Ivan, in his new job across town, expresses his own unique take on the hotel lighting.
Oh man, the chandeliers, mate. Just a chav palace, isn't it? But I personally found it a bit over the top, really.
Ex-general manager Brian can now benefit from distance and hindsight.
Again, it goes back to these egos they have, that they could bestow upon the denizens or the good people of Norfolk, you know. They will just fall for it because Carleton and Lana are, you know, the bastions of fine, brilliant, eclectic taste.
But while the ex-employees grind their axes, even loyal PA Marianne is willing to admit that errors were made.
How long have you got? Lots of mistakes were made. Lots of mistakes. I think we opened far too early.
New head chef Daniel knows more than most what makes a recipe for success.
When your ambition is so vast, the little details perhaps get forgotten in the rush.
I know without without knowing what's happened, I can't move forward. Otherwise, I might be making the same turn and finding myself doing the circles.
But was this massive makeover project just too ambitious for our first-time hoteliers?
It was a case of, I want to be a hotelier, and I'm going to buy a hotel. I go on aeroplanes on holiday. It doesn't mean I'm going to go out and buy one and fly one. And that's exactly what happened.
So we're now learning, after 8 months of being open, what people want, so that now we're changing things.
But the only regret we have is a bit too small. We could have done with another probably 30 bedrooms. You know, with people who are overachievers, they are brilliant most of the time, but the times when they're not brilliant, they're spectacularly bad.
Good Lord. Was that an admission of guilt?
Darling, I don't make spectacularly bad decisions. Or if I do, I certainly would not admit it in front of the camera with the rest of the nation and my staff looking on. Every single decision I make is right. Sometimes the consequences are not what I've expected them to be, but every decision I make is right.
I'm sure she would love to drive this particular car, but it probably wouldn't like to be driven by Lana for very long. She has two modes of driving. She's got an accelerator pedal, and it's either on or off.
She's a fantastic woman, you know, she really knows what she's doing, but if you don't do it right or you don't get it done by a certain time, you're in trouble.
Yeah, she might have strops and temper tantrums, but then what woman doesn't?
I'm ultimately ever-changing Barbie, so I go from caring Barbie to military Barbie.
Just cross to the other side. You have a child, we've got pigeon shit. Cross to the other side.
I've never beat a woman before, Lana, but I'll tell you, you know, Cleopatra coming at you.
The birth of St Giles House Hotel has taken 5 long years, consumed over £6 million, and taken the blood, sweat and tears of an army of workers. It's been a protracted pregnancy with a painful delivery, but Lana's baby is finding its feet at last.
I would say it's kind of gone from the point of being, you know, constantly sleeping and pooping and eating, to where it's becoming slightly temperamental toddler.
With all new ventures, it could go tits up, you know, and I hope it doesn't go that way.
I wouldn't put money on it, but I think that they will be there next year.
You can't, you know, you just can't discuss it enough and laugh about it enough. You know, Faulty Towers, not a patch, mate, not a patch.
But this story is ultimately not about the building. It's about Lana, the leader, figurehead and mother of St Giles House. Her monumental journey is almost beyond words. Almost.
I know that, you know, as Confucius said, you cannot step into the same river twice, the water changes. Essentially, geographically, it's the same river, and I am the same person. I am Lana, but I am probably, I'd like to say, a better improved version.
And the next step?
Another one. And another one. Believe it or not, it hasn't put me off. The birth pains far behind me. I have no regrets.